Welcome to the second episode of Huawei News. I'm your host, Susie.
And I'm JF. Only 3 days left until the Chinese Lunar New Year, the most important holiday in China. Many people will travel home to be with their families. Susie, will you be?
Well, I will not be sitting here, but Huawei has 170 offices around the world, so the company is definitely not going on holiday. So let's take a look at today's top story.
Abhijit Banerjee was awarded the 2019 Nobel Prize in Economics for his experimental research into poverty alleviation. On January 13, Banerjee was at Huawei headquarters in Shenzhen.
And I think it's useful to think about for a company like Huawei, which is very conscious of its social role. I mean, you hear a lot about how this is going to be using less energy, and so there's a clear awareness of the social contribution of the company.
The related issue of balancing economic growth will also be a topic at the World Economic Forum annual meeting later this month. On January 21st, Huawei founder and CEO, Mr. Zhengfei, will talk with Professor Yuval Noah Harari, the author of A Brief History of Humankind. So stay tuned to Huawei News to know what happened at that meeting.
And what have Huawei executives been saying recently? Just last month, Huawei's rotating chairman Guo Ping sat down for a hot pot with global thought leader Jeffrey Townsend.
You joined in 1988 as the number 5 employee.
Yeah.
Because early days, people don't know the story terribly well.
我们第一款交换机是512门的交换机，叫 HJD48， 我们还不错。也是度过了华为没有产品的那个危机。接着的话，我们又开发了一款交换机，质量出了问题，串音就电话串音很严重，几乎要让公司破产了。我们又开发了 CNC08， 这款发展的非常的成功。接下来我们开发了一个叫 East 8000，又失败了。他们后面说那名字取得不好 ，East。叫易死的中文名字是吧？容易死的我们似乎这个一帆风顺，但是其实的话呢，我们也是起起伏伏。我们这个生意就像西西弗神话里面的石头到了底上，又要推到顶上去了，而且的话呢，方向还不能错。
Up next, let's look at some of the biggest Huawei news headlines from the global media. First, we have a report from Bloomberg discussing how Trump's blacklisting of Huawei has failed to halt the company's growth. An article by the Wall Street Journal said Huawei has received up to $75 billion in tax breaks, grants, low-interest loans, and cheap resources from the Chinese government. Since the article's publication, Huawei has pushed back against the misleading information.
Huawei is a private company wholly owned by its employee. Over the past 32 years, we have invested 10 to 15% of our annual revenue into R&D. Our R&D investment over the past decades amounts to almost $73 billion. In 2018 alone, our R&D spends reached $15 billion.
Article made it sound like Huawei got $75 billion from the Chinese government for free by buried deep in it. It mentioned that $46 billion were loans that Huawei customers borrowed from Chinese banks. Are loans free money? Of course not. And actually, Huawei customers paid back with interest. After hearing today's news, I'd like to end today's episode with something that Mr. Guo said he learned from Albert Camus' The Myth of Sisyphus. Life in the face of its pain is ultimate revolt against the absurd. That's all for today's Huawei News. If you want more news about Huawei, please follow Huawei's social media platforms and stay tuned for our next episode.